$724 billion. And that is what big tech is spending on AI this year. Many of you guys have heard that number many times because we said it many times, but $724 billion, $250 billion. That is what Nvidia may guarantee for one data center. Last week, we talked about how Nvidia is becoming the financer and the co-signer. Okay? Another number, 118,000. That is how many tech jobs got cut this year so far. 724 billion going in, 118,000 people going out in the same year. Same companies. So the money got questioned this week, not by a reporter, but by the people who grade the debt. Debt is something that gets graded. You guys know, the less debt you have, the better your grading is. The more debt you have, the lower your grading is. And the thing all that money is buying just got a lot cheaper. The cost of building goes up. The price of selling goes down. Something in the middle gets squeezed. And that something that is going to be in the middle, it's not going to be in the middle, is already at the middle, is payroll. Okay? I want you guys to do me a favor this morning so I can get into it. I'm going to keep the camera on myself today so that I don't have to do a lot of the jumping back. But story number one is a Moody story. The company that grades debt for the whole world. So they put out a warning about Amazon. They put out a warning about Meta. They put out a warning about Google. Not about the stock price, but about their credit. The spending on AI is getting big enough to put pressure on how safe their debt looks. Now, I'm going to explain what a credit rating actually is, because this is the whole ball game. This is the whole game. You have to understand your credit rating. A credit rating is a grade on how likely a company is to pay back money it borrowed. Same exact thing as your credit score. Good score, you borrow for cheap. Get all kinds of good incentives to go and borrow that money. Bad score, everything costs you a lot more. You're punished when you have a bad score. Just like in your personal. You have a bad personal credit, guess what? Your car loans are going to be more expensive. Your house loans are going to be more expensive. So Amazon and Meta and Google are borrowing billions to build all of this. So if that grade slips, the interest on all of that borrowed money goes up. And when the interest goes up, they got to find that money somewhere else in the building. That is a ratings agency saying out loud that this build out has a ceiling. On Thursday, we showed on this show that Google had its best quarter in company history and negative cash flow for the first time since since 2004. I was getting ready to say 2024, but I meant to say 2004, which just means more money went out the door than came in. You guys understood that when we talked about the free cash flow. More money went out than came in on their best quarter ever. And on 4 days later, Moody's put it in writing. Ken Mahoney runs Moody Asset Management. He told CNBC this morning, quote, the biggest risk is the continuation of the spin. And then the problem is if they do listen to shareholders and wind down a little bit of that spin. Okay? I said wind. I meant wind down a little bit of that spin. The rest of the market is not going to like it. End quote. So they are trapped. Spend more and the lenders get nervous. You spend less and the stock gets punished. So, and this is why the bond people matter more than the stock people right now. And these are two kinds of money people watch in these companies. So stock people, they own a piece of the company. Many of you guys own a lot of these shares and these companies that we talk about. And they want it to be bigger. They want to make more money because they're investing into the company. They think the company has a future. So when a company spends big, of course they're going to cheer. When you're talking about the bond people, they loan the company money. They do not care how big it gets. They just want to get paid back. And right now, the bond people are the ones who's getting nervous because they don't know when they're going to get paid back. And they are starting to treat this AI spending like a risk, not like growth. And that matters to you for one reason. The lenders get nervous first before the layoffs, before the memo, before anybody tells you anything. Now, what does that mean for you guys who's watching this show? When a ratings agency questions your company's credit, the first budget line that moves is never the data center. Guess what it is, guys? Put it in the chat if you know what it is. Put it in the chat if you know exactly what it is. If you know what it is, put it in the chat. It's not the data center that's going to move. They're not going to pause the data center. What they're going to do is they're going to figure out the headcount. Now, watch your company does in the next 90 days. Watch what your company does in the next 90 days. That's how I'm going to call it. We're going to talk about Nvidia. Nvidia's my favorite company right now. I like what they're doing, but it is risky as well too, though. But Nvidia, they are in talks to guarantee about $250 billion. So OpenAI can lease one campus in Ohio. This campus is supposed to have 10 gigawatts of power. The whole build could run $500 billion. And let me tell you what guarantee means in this sort of world. It means if OpenAI cannot pay that lease, Nvidia pays it. That is a co-signing. Same as co-signing for your cousin's car. You know how you grow up and your credit may not be good yet, and you get your mom and dad to co-sign for that car for you or that credit card for you so that if you don't somehow pay it back, they have to pay it back. They co-sign your student loans a lot of the times. Well, that's what Nvidia is doing for OpenAI. If OpenAI doesn't pay it back, Nvidia is co-signing and holding themselves accountable for it. Okay? Interesting how this whole thing is starting to shake out, right? Interesting how you have a big company like Nvidia co-signing for OpenAI. If he stops paying, they come get you in 10 gigawatts. That is enough electricity to run a whole city for one campus, for one company. A 20-year lease. First phase is not even online until 2028. So 2028. And here's the part that when I read this article this morning, when I did my little briefing, I'm like, okay, I got to figure out something to bring to my ladder climbers this morning since it's going to be a short show. The campus is being built on an old uranium enrichment site, a Cold War plant that ran until 2001. That is what they are turning into data centers now. Now, I want you guys to think about this piece for a second and hold on to it. So you got 5 days ago, I told you guys Nvidia co-signed $500 million in loans. So one customer could buy Nvidia chips. 5 days later, the number is $250 billion. The chip company is financing its own customers. That is not a sale. That is a bet. Okay? When you are financing your own customers, you're basically saying, all right, we're going to win. That's just how it's going to be. We're going to win. Now, what does that mean for you all? When your whole industry runs on borrowed money, your job is sitting on top of somebody else's loan. So you're going to keep it simple like that. When your whole industry and your whole job runs on borrowed money, your job is sitting on top of somebody else's loan. So they don't pay back the loan, you don't have a job. If that loan gets in default, you don't have a job. That's just how it works, guys. Now let's get to story number 3. We're going to talk about Anthropic, the company who makes Claude. Many of you guys are using Claude. You love Claude. You're using it every single day. Anthropic put out a new model this week. And when I say model, I mean the AI itself, the engine underneath the ChatGPTs or Claude, the thing that actually does the thinking. It goes up against their own top model, which is Fable, and it costs about half of the price. Claude or Anthropic released Opus 5 on Friday. I was doing some work. It was late. I was preparing to get ready for a flight, early morning flight out of DC. Me and my son had a 7 o'clock flight out, and we got delayed and all sort of stuff. And that's the reason why I lost all my darn equipment, or I left it in security. Not paying attention, early, sleeping. And Friday night, I was up until 2 o'clock in the morning, talking to my cousin because we were in Baltimore and all this other stuff, doing some family stuff. And I, jumped on my laptop when we got back to the house and started getting some work done. Had to pull out my weekly intelligence report. I had to, structure some things that I wanted to get done this weekend. And I saw that Opus 5 was out. I'm like, man, when does Open 5 come out? Next you know, I went and did some research and I saw that it's dropped it. It's like, okay. And they're saying it's basically just as capable, but a cheaper model than Fable 5. Now, I got a chance to test it this weekend, and I don't think it's as capable as as Fable 5, but it does pretty darn good. Now, what does that mean for you? Nobody is paying for access to the model anymore. Access is almost free, but they are paying for the person who can run it and prove the number moved. That's what it means. Okay? Because you got so many models that are out there right now, and you got so many people who are trying to lower their costs because it's expensive to run some of these important models, or these state-of-the-art models, or the best models. It's very expensive to do so. I racked up a $700 bill this past a month, and the month is not even over yet in API costs. Where's the return? The return comes in the form of products and services you have to sell. Well, the thing is this is the models and model access is going to be almost free coming soon. The question is, what does it get you? And they are not paying for the person who can run the model. They're going to be paying for the person who can prove that the number moved, the return on the investment. And that's where you come in at. Okay. Let's get to story number 4. You got 2 cheaper AI models shipped this week. One is American and charges you for it. That's Opus, although it's cheaper than Fable. And one is Chinese and gives it away for free. And when I say gives it away, I do not mean a free trial. I mean they hand you the actual engine. You download it onto your computer and nobody can shut it off. Nobody sends you a bill. It is yours. And Washington called one of them theft. That's what Washington called it. Okay? We're going to play a quick game real quick to keep you guys engaged and make sure you understand what I'm actually saying right now. I want you guys to guess which one and type it right now. American or Chinese. Okay? Which one is the free one? Is it American one or the Chinese one? Put it in the chat. Okay? Let me know. Ant Dog says Sonnet shouldn't be slept on either. No, I agree. I 100% agree with you. Sonnet shouldn't be slept on at all. It's one of those models that Sonnet 5 is pretty darn good. Well, the White House advisor said that Moonshot copied Anthropic's model to help train their own. And the way you copy an AI is not what you think. You do not steal the code. You ask the smart ones thousands of questions. So you basically continue to ask AI, the model, a whole bunch of questions. Then you write down every single answer. And then you use those answers to teach your own. It is copying somebody's homework and then selling the homework. That's what the leaders in Washington are saying that Moonshot did. And back in February, Anthropic put numbers on it. They said Chinese labs used about 24,000 fake accounts, 16 million conversations to pull the answers out. Then something strange happened. Nvidia, Microsoft, Meta, Palantir, and more than 20 other companies signed a letter asking Washington not to restrict open models. I want you guys to read that one more time. The biggest winners of closed AI are asking for open AI. The biggest winners of closed AI, so the Anthropics, the open AI, the Microsofts, they're asking for open AI, free AI, open source AI. Now, what does that mean for you guys? Everybody up there is fighting over who owns the tool. Nobody up there is fighting over who can use it well. And that gap right in the middle is where you live. There's an article that came out on CNBC titled, The World is Obsessed on Distillation. That's a new word. And a distillation is how these Chinese accounts went out there and started pinging the Fable model, asking it thousands and millions of questions and writing all the answers down and using those answers to train their own model. Pretty darn smart, if you ask me. So they stole somebody's homework, they stole it, and basically copied it, and then sold it as their own. That's what they've been doing for a very long time, guys. That's what they've been doing for a very long time.